Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to yet another great episode of Bahrain Now, your source of local initiatives, happenings, talents, and trends. I'm your host, Lara Sam'an, here to walk you through our exciting lineup of segments and personalities from around Bahrain. So don't go away, we'll be right back. The Kingdom of Bahrain pays great attention to children, considering early childhood is one of the most important stages of every person's life. Bahrain has therefore issued a child law in the year 2012 that guarantees the rights of children in all areas, including health, social care, and education, with additional confirmation of the attention and care that the early childhood education sector enjoys. To talk more about this, we have with us in the studio the Director of the Early Education Licensing and Follow-up Department at the Ministry of Education, Ms. Lulwa Ghassan Al Muhanna. Hello, Ms. Lulwa. Welcome to our studio today.
Hello, hi. Thank you for having me.
Welcome to our studio, and thank you for being with us today. So please tell us, what is the importance of early education and how does it affect our children?
Well, most parents see early childhood education, preschool, as a precursor to real learning that happens later in life, like in elementary school or at age 7 or 8. In reality, the early childhood education phase is the most important phase in any person's career. 90% of brain development happens by the age of 5.
Yeah.
And once that wiring is in place, then that affects an individual in terms of their learning for the rest of their lives. So we always say it's the most important phase. We also see this in the results of international examinations. So across the world, when they examine children at age 15, they notice that children who go to preschool at least 2 years or 1 or 2 years score significantly higher than those who
go a bit later in stage. Okay.
And when we say preschool, we mean good quality preschools.
Yes, of course.
Right, because at this age, as the child is like a sponge, right? So they absorb the good things, but if they're in a not so positive environment,
they absorb the bad things as well.
At greater risk than what they would be at other stages of their life.
As kids, as growing up, we always absorb what we see around us as well, what we hear people say, what people tell us, what our teachers used to tell us. We keep it, and it stays in our minds until we grow up. Right. So of course, watching the younger children, they come home and they tell you, oh, I heard this today and I heard this today, and you're like, oh, okay.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. And the way they learn, even at 1 year old, like they always ask us, like, what can a 1-year-old learn?
Yeah, correct.
Everything. Gross motor
pick up
skills.
A habit. Yeah.
Right, just gross motor skills. Like there are actually exercises that you can do for a child. Like here, pick up a strawberry. I'm going to place this little strawberry in a bowl of like pasta. See if you can dig in and pick it up. Those are all motor skills, and it's very important for the child to develop them. And it has a long-term effect on how they develop. Right, absolutely.
And what would you say? What advice could you give parents for them who are trying to choose a nursery or a kindergarten to send their children to?
I would say the most important thing for parents to pay attention to is whether this institution is actually licensed by the Ministry of Education. I say that because when we license, we look at almost every corner of that institution. The early childhood education team at the Ministry of Education goes in to inspect, and we look at every corner. We make sure it's fully baby-proofed or child-proof.
Okay, amazing.
We look at the building, we look at the curriculum, we ensure that every teacher has gone through a background check, a security background check. So these are really important things that we do as regulators for the sector, and it's a service we provide for parents. So don't enroll your child in an unlicensed institution.
Make sure that it's licensed.
And make sure, and it's on our website.
Okay, so everything is there. If they wanted to find out if they're interested in taking their child to this preschool, they can go on your website and just check.
And they can check, absolutely.
Okay.
So that's the first thing. And then there are little hints as parents. You say, is this a good preschool? Does this fit my needs? I always say pay attention to how crowded a classroom is. the child to teacher ratio. The more teachers you have and the less children you have in that classroom, the more your child gets attention.
Yes.
And the more the teacher can work one-on-one with your child. Another thing is, are they telling you how your child is developing? Are they assessing your child, and are they communicating that with you? Are they telling you, when you enrolled your child, he could or she could count to 10, but today she's counting till to 50, for example. So these are things that are really important, and it's your right as a parent to know how your child is developing.
Of course, of course.
Right. So if you're dealing with an institution who you're finding even difficult to speak to about your child, or even to pick up your phone because you have some concerns about your child, then that's one of the ways that you can tell if this institution fits
well for your child or not.
So how they communicate, how the institution communicates with you. Sometimes institutions even ask you how your child slept the night before, because they've noticed that their
child's maybe tired the next day, or is not paying attention a bit. Yeah.
Right. So they try to understand what's actually affecting their learning. Is this because the child isn't able to learn, or is the child just in a bad mood because nap time wasn't right? So institutions that pay attention to things like these,
the small little details,
they're great. And when you walk into an institution to make your decision, ask them, what's your curriculum? We ask them to put our little letter of, we approved the following curriculum for your institution. On can I see your license and registration? That's on. That should be on the board as well.
And any parents can ask to see this if they wanted to.
It should, yeah. We ask the institutions to hang them really on the wall. So as soon as you walk in, you'll be able to see those. So those are ways or hints you can use to choosing some preschools or KGs and nurseries.
So everyone needs to pay attention, and of course, and everybody has a different type of preschool that they'd like to send their children to. But of course, main thing is to make sure it's licensed by the Ministry of Education.
Ministry of Education, yeah. Absolutely.
Of course, that has to be. To me, I think that has to be number one, so that you guys have approved everything.
Yes, and the child is in a safe and happy environment.
And can you tell us, there's been recent talks about the development of early childhood in Bahrain. Can you tell us more about that?
Absolutely. In the last year, we've approved a strategy for early childhood education that has a number of main strategic pillars. So we're reviewing our regulatory framework. We're working on a plan to develop expertise, or to uplift the level of expertise in the sector. We are looking at a curriculum framework for the entire of early childhood education phase, so from 0 to less than 6 years old.
Oh wow, okay. Right. That's very early childhood, yeah.
Yes, and a lot of people ask us, what do you mean?
Yeah, what do you mean about that?
A curriculum framework is in simple terms, is when you say a child at 1 year old should be able to do that as a teacher. When you're working with a child of 2 years old, you should be able to
do 1, 2,
yes,
and
3.
assess.
These are the developmental milestones, and that way you can kind of track the child development from one phase to another and know what
and know where your child should be at this age.
Absolutely.
Okay.
We're also working on encouraging investment in the field, because we really want people to be aware of the value add of early childhood education and increase the participation rates. Right? And we're working on an inspection framework and quality reviews for the sector.
Okay, which is amazing.
So we can, in the long term, hopefully inform parents of what is a high quality early childhood institution.
And it will help the parents more, especially the people who don't understand these things, and then it gives them more information, makes them understand more where their child should be, where they should be going.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And what could you tell us is the most important achievements of the ECE?
In the last 2 months, Bahrain has amended the child law of 2012. Prior to the amendment, the early childhood education phase was regulated by 2 separate ministries, the Ministry of Education and the Ministry of Labor and Social Development.
Okay.
The general view was that after the age of 3 or 4, that's when education begins, and before that, that's just care. So what we're doing is we're redefining this phase, and we're saying it's education and care, it's learning and care throughout. And we've moved the regulation of the sector in its entirety under the Ministry of Education. So now the Ministry of Education regulates KGs and nurseries.
Okay.
What that means for parents is once a specific institution gets approval from the ministry that it's a comprehensive early childhood education institution, that me as a parent, or I as a parent, I have a child who's 4 and a child who's 2, and I can take them to the same institution. I don't need to take them.
You don't have to do separates and separates, and one goes here and one goes there,
right.
and then you have to find a way to be able to take one earlier than the other.
Right. So it makes it easier for parents. It makes it easier for investors. So I, as an investor, that's also an opportunity for me. I can expand my clientele base and get more parents and more students to come in and more children to come in, to enroll in my institution.
Which is amazing. And hopefully in more and more years we're going to have more of these things being more developed, and parents can understand more from you guys, because you guys are now looking into early childhood.
Absolutely.
And going deeper and deeper compared to what we used to go through from before. It's very different now, which is amazing, of course, and especially that you said that they focus on the kindergartens, the nurseries, and what more. So it starts from a young age.
Right.
And can you tell us, or further elaborate in your opinion, what you advise parents in the society?
I'd say
if
you have the opportunity, don't miss out on the chance of getting your child in an early childhood education institution. This is the most important phase of their life. This will affect their learning for the rest of their lives. If you have identified a good quality early childhood education institution that you're comfortable with, give your child that opportunity of early learning, because it will affect them for the rest of their life, and it will make your job as an educator of your child easier as well.
And make it easier for you as well. Not only for your child, but for you as well.
Later in life. So that's my general advice for parents.
Thank you, Ms. Lulwa, and
My
hopefully
pleasure.
I will take this advice hopefully one day in the future.
Hopefully.
Hopefully.
Now for your lovely nieces and nephews.
Yes, I will now go and tell my sister all of the points you actually said, so she pays attention to these things.
That's excellent.
Thank you, Ms. Lulwa.
Thank you so much. My pleasure.
Ladies and gentlemen, stay tuned as we'll be right back for more. Bahrain is home to a thriving education sector. Many universities boast great curriculums and extracurriculars, and students have an abundance of things to do. And to tell us more are 2 students from the American University of Bahrain. Welcome Student Council President Ali and Vice President Dana. Hello Ali and hello Dana, welcome to our studio.
Hello.
Hello, it's a pleasure to meet you.
Yeah, nice to meet you guys too. So tell us, what is it like being a student in Bahrain?
Very similar to what you just said, Bahrain is home. It's a place for everyone. The diversity in Bahrain is everything. No matter who you are or where you come from, you can be a nature lover, a thrill seeker, a sports lover. You'll always find a place for you in Bahrain.
I agree with that as well, 1,000%.
Yeah, and Dana can talk a lot more about this since she's come from Saudi, so I know she has a lot to say about it.
Yeah, actually, I truly think that Bahrain is home away from home. I'm able to have the perfect international student experience.
Okay.
I can do so much, and honestly, for a student, it's really affordable to do all kinds of activities. Like, I can go out, I can have fun, like besides academics, there's a lot to do, and I just think that I wouldn't give up Bahrain for the world.
Okay, so you made a right choice by studying here in Bahrain.
For sure.
Okay,
Yeah.
and you, of course, staying here in Bahrain made it a better choice for you as
It
well?
couldn't be more comfortable than this.
I can agree with you, as I studied in Bahrain as well, so I do agree with this. And can you tell me, how has UBH specifically enriched your university experience?
I would say UBH has completely changed my mindset. You know, I went in thinking I'm going to get the usual education, then start my work life. But this is the difference. AUBH focuses a lot on employment readiness.
Okay.
We call it employability readiness.
Okay.
You know, and they do that in multiple ways. One of the ways being the speaker series event that we usually have at the university. And on that note, just last week we had a lecture given to us from His Highness Sheikh Nasser bin Hamad Al Khalifa, which was very exciting and very inspiring for us as students.
Okay.
And other than that, we have multiple partnerships with big local companies that kind of align us with industry demands, bridging the gap between us as students and the marketplace.
Okay, which is amazing. So they, as well, I'm guessing, give you opportunities as well, let's say for internships and whatnot.
Of course.
Okay.
These companies, yeah, like we have to start internships third year of university, and we just have a long list of companies we can work in, and they're all within our majors, so we really are ready for what's
which is
next.
I find amazing. It's they're preparing you for the outside world. That's how
Yeah.
I always look at it, and I
Yeah.
call it, it's the outside world. It's like you leave university and you know what you're going to be going to next. Not
Exactly.
like it's a big shock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You get to experience it.
Yeah, you get to experience it. So which I'm guessing AUBH has helped you guys learn and
course.
be ready for that for the upcoming years.
Of course.
And how do you find balancing studies and extracurricular going for both of you?
Okay, so for me personally, I have joined so many clubs at our university, and they're all very exciting, and we have a lot of things happening all the time. But one thing that really kept me in check is having our library just accessible all the time. Even like with COVID and everything.
You guys could still go to the library.
Yeah, exactly. And just studying between classes. We have like 20 private rooms in the library.
Oh, wow. Wow.
Yeah, and we can have study sessions, we can finish group projects. So literally by the time I'm done, I have the rest of the day just to enjoy.
Okay, which
Yeah.
is amazing. Which is
Yeah.
amazing. And what would you say is your favorite club that you guys have joined?
You know, I personally love the sports club.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
but no, one thing I really love about UBH is that they understand the importance of our life outside of studying.
Okay.
You know, the campus comes alive week in, week out. You know, I always heard the statement, the 4 years of university are supposed to be the best 4 years
of your life, correct.
Yeah,
That is very
here,
correct.
here we actually get the opportunity to make that
Happen.
possible.
Okay, that's an amazing thing. And what
Yeah.
would you say is your favorite club? Since his is sports, I don't think yours would be sports as well. Maybe.
Mine is the Cinema Arts Club.
Oh wow.
We've had so many activities. It's been really like
I
amazing.
feel it's very creative.
Very.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have like, we watch movies together, we have activities after the movie. So it's been really fun.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
amazing that you guys have a cinema art club.
Yeah.
I wish that back in my day I had that same opportunity.
Yeah.
But no, we didn't. We had the reading club, the sports club. We had the basic one, but this one sounds very cool.
Different.
And as students, to what extent do you feel that you guys shape the university culture and vice versa?
The good thing about UBH is that we have a lot of diversity, a very diverse student body, a diverse group of faculty and staff members, and this really helps us learn from each other
Yeah.
every day. You know, it really builds our intercultural competence, which makes us ready for the rapidly changing world we live in.
Correct. I completely agree with that.
I would like to add that our university has a culture of care philosophy, which means that everyone is looking out for one another. So that is something that is shaping me, and at the same time, me caring about the university, the students,
everyone that you're around them every day.
Exactly.
Every day you see these people, you meet with these people, you interact with these people. So having that care for everybody makes it like you're a big family within a really big family.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's
Exactly.
really,
Yeah, it really helps in that way.
of course.
And how could you say, let's say, how does AUBH define, like, what does their spirit mean to you, or define you in what way?
Just like you mentioned, the family spirit is really, really obvious. As soon as you enter
You
the
feel it.
campus, you can feel it.
Yeah.
Pretty
Everyone
much.
shows up for everyone. We have a saying that our culture at AUBH is showing up, and you can truly see that. I know that if I ever need help, other students, faculty, staff, they will be there for me.
They'll help you no
Yeah.
matter what.
We always say one team, one family.
Yes, exactly. One team, one
One family.
family. One family. I love that. And hopefully, maybe one day I'll do my master's in UBH. And then you
Inshallah.
guys might be there doing your master's with me as well,
Of
hopefully.
course.
Hopefully.
You guys, can you tell me, is there anything you'd like to add or tell our students or viewers or everybody anything before we end the segment today?
I would just like to add to all the potential students, we are really excited to have you on campus, and we would like you to show up for us so we can show up for you.
And we really do believe that these will be your first steps towards a lifetime of success.
I love it, and I love that quote, and hopefully I will be one of those students. Thank you, Ali, and thank you, Dana, for
Thank
being
you.
with us
It was a
here
pleasure.
today.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, what a great segment. We'll be right back. The young Bahraini NUOR is the owner of G1 Design Academy in Bahrain and is also a certified jewelry designer. Speaks today about her journey with the jewelry and what makes her designs unique. Welcome to the studio, NUOR.
Hi, hello.
So tell us, how did you start designing jewelry?
It's actually a quite long story. It all started when I designed my own engagement ring.
Okay.
Yeah, and then I got so many compliments about it, so that actually encouraged me to go deeper in this field and in this industry. So at the beginning, my main objective was to have my own jewelry shop. So before that, actually my husband said, before you enter the market, try to learn more about it.
Yeah, and go more deep into it.
Yes, the technicalities, the mechanism, all this information. So he bought me all the books I need and the stationery and everything. And then I guess my passion has shifted to designing only instead of selling the actual pieces.
Okay, okay.
After that, I started posting my designs online, and I got so many requests that so many girls and ladies are interested actually in learning designing. So later on, I
Just decided to open a design studio.
an online academy.
Okay.
What helped me actually is the pandemic, because everything has shifted digital
Correct.
during the pandemic. So I decided to do the courses online, and the good thing is now I have students from all over the world.
Okay, that's amazing.
4 different continents.
Okay.
I have students from the US, from France, India, all GCC, Lebanon.
Okay, so you give them jewelry, you give them courses on how to design their own jewelry.
Yes, all the
Okay.
technicalities, all the required information they need in order for them to manufacture and get the final product.
Okay, that's amazing. That's amazing, something very different. Like you said, that you don't go from creating it, you're actually teaching people on how to do it themselves as well.
Yeah.
And what would you say is your unique signature, or your unique design that you've designed yourself?
I actually prefer simplicity. So my favorite quote is beauty is in simplicity. So
I like that quote a lot. It's very true. Beauty is
Yeah.
in simplicity.
Exactly. So my main designs are more simple,
Okay.
and I tend to have like not so many crowd in the design.
Okay.
So I think that's the uniqueness.
I still love that you designed your own engagement ring. Like, I find that beautiful because it gives it more a story and passion behind the ring. Like, if somebody asks you, oh, your
Yeah.
engagement ring, yes, you can say that you designed it and that you created it from zero to something beautiful.
Yeah, actually, the unique part about it is I chose my birthstone to be in the ring. yeah.
Okay, that makes it even more beautiful and very different compared to other engagement rings that
Yeah.
people like to use. And what would you say, what inspires you to create the designs that you create?
Actually, as a designer, the most important part is being creative. You don't have to be an artist, you just have to be creative. Trying to get inspired by your surroundings or anything around you. So that's the main part. And even in my courses, what I tend to focus on more is the inspiration session. I have dedicated a full complete session to help the participant to get
Understand.
inspired, and by any topic given to them. I prepare them to design by any topic given to them.
Okay, so you're teaching your students that anything that anyone gives you, you should be inspired by it.
Exactly, because working with clients, it should be this way, right?
Correct, yes,
Yeah.
of course. If you have a client that wants something, I want the tree to inspire you, you need to think out of the box and use that to create something.
Exactly.
So, okay, so you teach your students that, which is it's very nice to see that even inspiration can be taught to people,
Yeah.
especially in jewelry making. And what would you say makes your designs different from other people?
I think it's the harmony of colors. Choosing the right stones together. Like, for example, I have one design in the making right now, which is the turquoise.
Okay.
Because it's blue, then you need to find something a little bit closer to it. So I'm putting pearls because it's from the sea.
From the sea, yeah.
Or for example, if it's aquamarine, you will choose pearls. So it's like the harmony of colors and the gemstones
That you
itself,
choose itself to think. Can you, and as well, can you show us some of the designs you brought with you today?
Yeah, absolutely.
I love how the designs are on the page, like how they're drawn onto this paper.
Yeah.
I find it beautiful.
This is actually the design for my engagement ring.
Okay, wow, this is how it was designed.
Yeah.
Okay, and the middle is your birthstone.
Yes.
Okay,
It's
amazing.
amethyst, and I have this ring as well.
Oh, this is beautiful. This is beautiful. How
Yeah.
long did it take you to design this?
It takes actually 2 days.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
because it's very detailed, and there are actually standards to do that, the measurements and everything.
Okay, okay. Honestly speaking, I thought it was much more than 2 days. That's when you told me 2 days. I was like, oh, okay, that's very nice. I like that. And is there a favorite design you've bought with you today?
Yeah, I have the necklaces. When I told you about the harmony of colors, like for example, have a look at this. This
is
is
beautiful.
malachite, and over
All
here,
malachite.
yeah, this is
Wow.
malachite all over, and we have diamonds over here and emerald
Beautiful.
center of the design.
It is It is really beautiful. Like I want to see this in real life. I want to see somebody wearing this. And can you tell us what is your process of designing? How do you start? What are the steps on designing a piece of jewelry?
Actually, the 70% of your time should go to the concept itself,
Okay.
or the idea itself. You tend to spend more time on the concept and the inspiration, as I told you, and then comes the sketching. So the designer should make up to 10 sketches maybe until they come up with the final and perfect design. Then after the sketching comes the stone selection and the metal selection. After that, you will actually do your design on paper perfectly, and not to forget the mechanism and the
You have to
settings.
make sure that's
and
correct.
yeah,
It can be made with this mechanism.
exactly. Making sure it's realistic and it can be done.
Okay, okay. So it is a bit of a long process. It's not just like, oh, I have a drawing, let me do it, and it can be made. I'm sure you've created, or you have students have created some things that maybe were hard as a mechanism to actually make. And in your academy, I'm sure you teach people which mechanisms to use, which metals to use, and whatnot.
Exactly. Yeah.
And if someone wanted you to design something for them, can you do that for them?
Yeah, I actually do this as well.
Okay, yeah, because you said you created your own engagement ring, so I'm thinking, if I want you to design a necklace for me, is that possible?
Absolutely.
And can you tell us what are you working on right now? What are your current projects?
Actually, I told you, since I shifted to the online academy, I wanted to go deeper for this industry, and I want actually to learn new skills and more skills. So I have actually applied for a master's degree.
Amazing.
And I just got accepted.
Okay, well, congratulations.
Yeah,
Congratulations.
and the college is in Milan, Italy, Politecnico di Milano.
Okay.
They offer this kind of things. They actually teach you jewelry design, watch designs, and everything. Yeah, it's more broad.
More in
Yeah.
depth. Okay, so now hopefully, next maybe you're gonna move to watch designing as well.
Maybe.
Maybe, you never know. You never know, especially that you just got accepted.
Yeah.
And can you tell us what is your most outstanding project that you've achieved, in your own opinion?
Actually, the most thing I'm proud of is winning an award recently by the Supreme Council of Women
Okay.
for their 20th anniversary for establishment. So I have created a brooch. I'll show you the design as well. I have it here with me. And here the design I was telling you
it's
about.
beautiful. I can see it's a pearl. And then are these rubies?
Yeah, rubies, inspired by the our flag color. It's red and white, and of course our precious gemstone, which is the pearls.
Pearl.
Yeah,
It's a beautiful brooch. It's really pretty. I love how
thank
big. I love how you've done the pearl and then the rubies coming down on it. It's beautiful. Congratulations on winning this award as well.
Thank you.
And thank you, Noor, for this. Hopefully, I will maybe one day join your academy and learn how to design something. Or I will
You're
speak to you and let you design something for me, because it might be a bit easier.
Thank you.
Thank you, Noor, and
very
good luck on your future with the master's degree in Milan. Hopefully, we'll see you as a watchmaker as well.
much. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, stay tuned as we'll be right back for more. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we've made it to the finish line. A huge thank you to all of our guests for joining us tonight, and another huge thank you to all of you watching us at home. As always, be sure to reach out to us on our social media accounts shown below. We love hearing from you. This was Lara Samhan. Until next time, good night and God bless.